And it's down the road we go. Friday is upon us, the 8th day of May, 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Cloudy and calm right now. By the end of the day, clear and windy. Very windy. There you got two disturbances moving in over the weekend. The first one will begin to move in as this day progresses. And by about 5 or 6, it's going to be very windy with clear skies. And then we have a nice calm Saturday, and then it happens all over again on Sunday afternoon. It's a kind of a roller coaster forecast we have coming your way. And the one consistent in all of this is unseasonably warm temperatures. We hit 81 yesterday on Thursday. That's 11 consecutive days of seeing our afternoon high above normal. That 11 consecutive days could go upwards of 20 consecutive days. And no rain at all. Forecast, yes. News, yes. Sports, lots. By the way, we're going to be at the Sterling Fourplex in East Wenatchee for our last scheduled spring sports event of the year. We'll be covering the second game of the doubleheader between the East Mall Wildcats and the Moses Lake Mavericks. Something's got to give. Both teams are 9-1. One of them has to win the Big Nine, and somebody's going to do that this afternoon. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a good game. We'll have a lot of fun with that. In the back half of the program, Mike Malmin returns. This time, he went down to the brand new old location of Serve Wenatchee Valley. You all know what happened back on October 7th. The big pipe burst and flooded the entire basement of the building that Serve Wenatchee Valley is in. They had to move out to the church in East Wenatchee on James Street. Well, guess what? Meet the new location, same as the old location, only new and improved. We got a tour from Mike, and we'll have that in the back half of the program. Lots to get to on this Friday. Let's take our tour, and I don't know what we're doing because Malcolm didn't show me the cameras in advance, so I guess I'll just wing it. I'm going to guess, don't tell me, Malcolm, that's the Wenatchee Heights camera, correct? Yes. Good, the Wenatchee Heights camera. We noticed yesterday, it's one thing to look at it with these cameras, these high-definition cameras, which are spectacular tools. It's one thing to look at them on the monitor. But in person, as I was driving around yesterday, you could really notice that the foothills around the valley are starting to dry out rather rapidly. And they will continue to do so today. Boy, any kind of fire that gets a toehold could get really bad. Up to the top of McNeil Canyon we go. You peek over the very tip of that ridge, you can see Lake Chelan. Of course, Memorial Day weekend is early this year. In fact, it's as early as Memorial Day can be. The fourth Monday in May can't be any earlier than May 25th. That's exactly what we're going to have this year. So it's an early start to Memorial Day weekend for you folks up there. Steins checks in, or Stein, it's not plural. A little breezy up there. That's an exposed ridge, and of course the tower is supposed to shake. That's how it's supposed to be. There is the Wenatchee River. There is beautiful downtown Dryden on your way up to Peshastin. Nice view there. That's, if we flip that camera around 180 degrees, we would see Kashmir and camera number 4. Billy Goat checks in, just like the Wenatchee Valley. High clouds up in Billy Goat. Omak, let me see where you're at. That's the closest weather station that we have, 54 degrees in Omak. It's 57 here in the Wenatchee Valley. No real wind. The one big concern about this disturbance that's going to move through this cold front passage is not only is it going to make things very windy, but the relative humidity is going to be very, very dry. So this could be a bit of a nerve-wracking period here this afternoon, tonight, and into early Saturday morning, because we are going to see some very strong winds. The winds will be picking up in intensity all day as this disturbance moves in. It starts moving in this morning. It'll definitely be here by noon. So as the day progresses, the winds will be picking up in intensity. It'll peak at about 7 tonight. We could see gusts here in the Wenatchee Valley near 40 miles an hour. And Chelan, you're in the bullseye too. Specifically the Chelan Valley, you're going to see extremely strong winds throughout the course of the day today. Very, very gusty late this afternoon, early evening, and the same deal with the Waterville Plateau. The Columbia Basin's going to see, nobody's going to be escaping the wind, but the most intense wind, unfortunately, is going to be right here, right along the crest of the Cascades in the Wenatchee Valley and in the Lake Chelan Valley. So hope nothing gets going. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Cloudy in this morning. Again, then the short wave rolls through, so the skies will be scoured out, and by the time we get to the mid-afternoon hours, it'll be sunny and very, very windy. We're only going to get to 75, which is still very warm for this time of the year. Sustained winds 25 to 30 miles an hour, sustained winds, and again, by about 6 to 7 o'clock tonight, and that little bullseye, we could see gusts here in the valley at 40 miles an hour. 49 for the overnight low tonight. The winds will eventually be decreasing gradually as the system rolls out of here, which means we'll have quite a bit of sunshine on Saturday morning and then a few clouds on Saturday afternoon with a high of 80. And then the next short wave comes through on Sunday in the afternoon hours. It'll be mostly sunny most of the day on Sunday, but it'll be breezy again. Not quite as windy as we're expecting today, but plenty of wind for everybody, but we'll take the sunshine. And then things calm down as we hit up to about 80 and 83 and 88. Very, very warm May continues. But again, pretty breezy, very windy. As a matter of fact, from mid-afternoon all the way through sunset, be prepared. Going to take a break and come back with your Friday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
Vape companies market vaping as a de-stressor, but nicotine can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. 90% of those who quit felt less stressed, anxious, or depressed. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Get ready to sip, sway, and celebrate at the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 14th through the 17th. Experience over 35 live performances featuring jazz, blues, funk, and more, all set across award-winning wineries and scenic venues around Lake Chelan. Enjoy world-class wine, incredible food, and one-of-a-kind musical journey through wine country. Don't miss the Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. Get your tickets now at chelanwinejazz.com.
Pretty quiet right now. It's not going to stay that way. It's 57 degrees. The system is on its way. It'll be here by noon for sure. We'll see gradual clearing and very strong winds once we get to the afternoon hours, and temperatures still above normal. It's about 8 minutes after the hour. The Malaga man who allegedly fired a gunshot during a January home invasion was formally arraigned on Wednesday on one count of attempted murder. 23-year-old Fernando Justice heard the charges against him in Chelan County Superior Court, which also include first-degree robbery and unlawful possession of a firearm. Justice was allegedly part of a group of men who robbed several victims inside of Wenatchee home in the 600 block of Highland Drive back on January 24th. During that incident, police say he threatened the victims with a handgun and fired a shot that passed near the head of one male victim. Justice has been held in the Chelan County Jail since his arrest. That was back on March 31st from fleeing from a traffic stop. Prosecutors charged him last week based on an investigation by the Wenatchee Police Department. United States Congresswoman Kim Schreier was in Wenatchee yesterday to highlight federal funding she helped secure for the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. The funding will equip deputies with de-escalation tools to use out in the field. Schreier represents Washington's 8th District, and she announced the new resources with local leaders, including Sheriff Mike Morrison, at a press conference just outside the Chelan County Courthouse. Schreier told NCW Life the $713,000 was secured in Congress through community project funding.
We leave up to local jurisdictions and local sheriff's departments what they think is most necessary to help them do their job best and serve the community best. And so it's not really our decision what was requested, but it was clearly a very worthy and well thought out request that we all agreed deserved federal funding.
Sheriff Morrison told us the funding helps his office comply with state mandates and says he sought expertise on which tools to purchase.
We talked to our subject matter experts who are part of our defensive tactics. We've also talked to other agencies and industry experts and just said what's been the most effective. So currently we have less lethal shotguns that are on there, but we've seen that one of the issues, they weren't as effective as we wanted to see, so we transitioned over to a 40mm launcher, which we've seen already deployed on our SWAT team. And we've also talked to some of our SWAT team leaders and assistant team leaders to say, was it effective? Would it be effective if we had every single member of our agency have these in their vehicles? Because we've already deployed shields, which are typically used for SWAT team. So we've gone out there, and then of course the Taser 10s, it was just the evolution of the product. We knew that we had to rotate it out. When I started my career over 20 years ago, we were using the Tasers that our deputies were previously using. They only are supposed to have like a 10-year lifespan. We're 20 plus years in trying to use them, so it was time to upgrade it. When it came to the Bull Wrap, it was OMAC Police Department. They had already utilized it out there on patrol. We saw it was a great tool for them. And then when you came with the pepper ball launchers, that was some also that was used more on the SWAT level, and now we've expanded it out to patrol just because it was an effective tool. And again, it's a de-escalation tool that we have available for every single one of our deputies. They have things that they can transition through. So again, if we're in a scenario where we have a barricaded subject or we have a non-compliant subject or subject in crisis, we understand you don't want to just keep using the same tool over and over and over again if we're not getting the results we want. So if it's not working, then we transition over to something else, and we just keep trying to work through our problem, and then we come up with that solution. So overall, it was the feedback from our subject matter experts, our SWAT team, our defensive tactics instructors, other agencies. We always appreciate the partnership, and now we have these tools coming online.
Chelan County has paid $15,000 to a deputy with the sheriff's office as part of a settlement over a public records lawsuit. Deputy Cole Soriano filed a public records request in August seeking metadata tied to an unsigned and undated report about an alleged assault on his daughter by a fellow deputy in May of 2023. Soriano said the incident went uninvestigated by his employer, and he filed the records request in August. The sheriff's office responded 35 days later, stating that no records existed. But when a second person requested the same information, the sheriff's office produced it within 24 hours. The $15,000 settlement resolved the court case, and the county does not admit to any wrongdoing. Soriano is also one of the 3 deputies who have filed a tort claim against the sheriff's office. He and fellow deputies claim their employer, quote, engaged in a pattern of retaliatory conduct, end quote, after the 2022 campaign for sheriff between Mike Morrison and former sheriff Brian Burnett. A large brush fire near Brewster was controlled Wednesday night near the community cemetery. Douglas Okanagan Fire District number 15 says it was called out for a brush fire amid high winds that turned out to have originated from a large yard debris pile. Firefighters warned that the debris was likely to continue smoldering and producing smoke for the rest of this week. A ceremony yesterday at the Town Toyota Center broke ground on an expansion of the Weinstein Beverage Community Ice Rink. The 1,700 square foot expansion project is set to add 4 new locker rooms for youth hockey, a dedicated referees locker room, and a second floor storage space. Among the guests involved at the groundbreaking was Wenatchee Mayor Mike Poyer, East Wenatchee Mayor Jerry Lee Crawford, and Cashmere Mayor Jim Fletcher. Construction is set to begin Monday. An estimated completion date is set for November. By the way, the Town Toyota, the rink, the Town Toyota Center as a whole and the Weinstein Community Rink will continue to operate without disruption. And if you're a vinyl fanatic, and I'm one of those, you'll see me tomorrow at the Apple Valley Vinyl Record Expo. It's back. It's offering enthusiasts a chance to buy and sell and check out their favorite albums at the old Oddfellows Hall on Chelan Avenue here in town. I had a chance to speak with my good friend Joel Myrene about the event tomorrow morning, and we went to Cashmere Records to have our little conversation.
We are in Cashmere Records today. Cashmere Records is one of the sponsors of the Record Expo, and they opened almost about a year ago today. So a great spot in Cashmere to get some records. There's the coffee shop here too, the bookstore next door, and yeah, great selection.
Yeah, great selection and keeping it local.
Yeah.
And that's important. It's in the basement, by the way, of the
of the whatever the district's called.
Side Street Cashmere.
Side Street Cashmere.
Building.
So it's on Railroad, and then you walk in the main building, and you go downstairs,
Yep.
and you can't miss it.
Yeah. When you enter downstairs, you get to the bookstore, and then just go a little further, and you go right into the record store.
How much coin have you dropped here at John's place?
I have no idea. I don't know.
The answer is you've spent some money.
That's
It's
true.
no big deal. This is the 5th one, so it seems to be working.
It does, yeah. Yeah, the demand seems to still be there with the vendors. The vendor spots, we opened them up on the 1st of the year, and they sold out right around late January. So, yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, and we have a wait list currently of about 15 vendors or so. And the demand for buyers is, we'll see this year, but it seems to be, the interest is high, so. Yeah.
How do the vendors who partake in buying, selling, and trading vinyl get word of the Apple Valley Record Festival? I mean, for the first one, how do you get the word out that I'm going to try and put this together in Wenatchee, Washington,
Yeah,
USA?
it was kind of trial and error for the first one. I did some Facebook ads, but it was a lot of I went to a couple record shows and gave out my info. And then the vinyl kind of community, as far as vendors, it's not huge. So kind of you meet people through other people. Yeah.
I talked to a number of them who have come every year. I haven't missed one yet. Some from Spokane, Seattle, Montana.
Yeah.
Guy from Flathead Lake brings thousands of albums, and he told me, he said, "Of course I would come."
Yeah.
I mean, this is an untapped market.
Yeah, that's probably John from Ear Candy Records.
Yep.
Yeah, and he, I love it when he comes every year because he brings in so many records, and it cycles through what he brings too, so it's not the same stuff every year.
Again, it's May 9th at the Oddfellows Hall, which is where it has always been. I can't think of a better location for a record expo than the Oddfellows Hall, which has been very good to you, and it's a perfect location.
Yeah, I think so. It's great. It's kind of got that vintage vibe to it. We've done some work in it in the last year or two, so people can see that. But yeah, 2 floors. Both floors of the Oddfellows Hall will be open. Probably about 30 vendor tables, maybe 31.
Okay.
Yeah, and records, some audio equipment, maybe a little bit of collectibles too.
Usual deals apply for you real vinyl junkies, and you're looking at 2 of them right now. $5 will get you in the door an hour early.
Yep.
And you want to do that.
Yeah, that's kind of the best selection of records is the earliest, right? So if you want to pay $5, we'll let you in at 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock on, it's free, but really you gotta, I think, the best selection's at 10 o'clock, and that's the only way that really the margins are in this whole thing is to support it and keep it going. Please come early, because that's how we keep the Record Expo going financially.
The first time that you did the early entry for $5, I showed up early, and there was a line.
Yeah.
A long line. I was rather surprised.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that. I try to get pictures of it every time, and it kind of goes down the block, and we get everyone in really quick, so yeah. Another
tip for you, again, if it's worth the $5 to get in early at 10 o'clock. And then if you come in at the last, say, hour to 45 minutes, you can score some really good deals, because a lot of these folks don't want to haul all those records out of here again, and you can do some negotiating.
Yeah, especially if you want to buy in bulk too, or if you just want to grab 2-3 records or 20, 50. You're exactly right. They will make some great deals.
Looking forward to tomorrow, and that is the news for today. Start your weekend with your brain full of the information you need to know to start your weekend. We have a program that does just that, the NCW Life Evening News. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on the traditional television airing times. But a lot of people are unplugged nowadays. We try to be hip. Well, we meaning other people in this building. I'm about as unhip as you can get. But we'll be on YouTube right around 5 o'clock. We broadcast on Roku, whatever that is, and Apple TV Plus, whatever that is, and we're on the Amazon Fire Stick. And we have an email address, news@ncwlife.com. We'd love to hear from you. After we take a 2-minute break, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays, and an opinion with Mike Malmin. So I guess you can't win them all. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
22 minutes after the hour, sports. Mariners, after winning 2 of 3 from the Braves, the team with the best record in baseball, they're on the road in that toddling town, the meat-packing capital of the world, Chicago. It's a 3-game weekend series against the White Sox. Game 1 is tonight at 4:40. After 3 games in Chicago, they hop on the plane and fly down to Houston for 3 games with the Astros early next week. A couple of games being played in the American League yesterday. The Athletics, who are leading the division, they rolled right over the Phillies, who were still struggling 12-1, and my Yankees had no real issues with the Rangers. All right, let's get busy. The combined 1A, 2B District 5 soccer tournament continued yesterday. Cashmere knocked off Wahluke at home 1-0. Cascade snuck by a very good Wapato team 2-1. Connell took care of Tenasket 5-4. Royal defeated Okanagan 2-1. Cashmere, Cascade, Connell, and Royal move on to the winners bracket, but all 4 of those teams that you see there still have a chance at state. And the teams in the losers bracket will play tomorrow. Here's the schedule for Saturday. Wahluke will be at Tenasket at 1 o'clock, same time for Okanagan, hosting Wapato in this state 1A and the District 5 1A 2B soccer tournament. The rest of the soccer scoreboard, or schedule anyway, looks like this. The Wenatchee Panthers will take on a very good Sunnyside team and leave off the field at the Apple Bowl at 7 o'clock tonight. Wenatchee is tied with Davis for first place. Eastmont is currently in 3rd place. They will travel to take on the Mavericks in Moses Lake at 7 o'clock. Let's move on to baseball. The District 5 1A baseball tournament is underway. Cashmere rolled over Omak 14-0, and Chelan rolled over Natchez Valley 3-2, and it will continue tomorrow. Here's the schedule for the same tournament. Chelan will be at Cashmere. This will be a good one. That's in the semifinal at 1 o'clock. Omak and Natchez Valley will do battle down south in the loser-out game. That will also be at 1 o'clock. The District 5 2A baseball tournament continues tomorrow in a loser-out contest. Quincy will take on Ellensburg at 11 o'clock, and Prosser will take on Sela at 11 o'clock. Those games, by the way, being held in Ritzville. The District 5 and 6 1B baseball tournament tomorrow. Waterville, Mansfield, and DeSales. This is a winner to state, loser out. So it's all on the line tomorrow, and that'll be at 4 o'clock. And the rest of the baseball schedule, West Valley will complete a undefeated season, another undefeated season, if they sweep Wenatchee in a doubleheader at Historic Recreation Park. Eastmont will travel to Larson Field and Moses Lake to take on the Mavericks. First pitch, first game of those doubleheaders are both at 4 o'clock. The District 5 and 6, that's a combined District 1A softball tournament, is tomorrow, and there's your schedule right there on your screen. Chelan will take on Connell at noon. In softball, Cashmere will take on Chi B at noon. Natchez Valley will take on Royal at noon. Cascade and College Place will do battle at 2:15. In the District 5 2A softball tournament on Saturday, these are both loser-out games. Ephrata will take on Prosser at 11 a.m. and Othello will take on Ellensburg at 11 a.m. And for the big schools, it's still regular season. And as I mentioned already, Moses Lake is 9-1 in league. Eastmont is 9-1 in league. This will be the first time they're going to play each other all season. It's a doubleheader. We will cover the second game of the doubleheader tonight. We'll have it for you here on the NCAA Live channel. The first game will start at about 4 o'clock, so we plan, it's rough. It depends on how long the first game lasts, but we're thinking right around 6 for the second game. And Wenatchee travels down to Yakima to take on West Valley for the regular season wrap-up. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. I almost forgot. It just occurred to me. Sunday is Mother's Day. Sunday is Mother's Day. So to all of you mothers out there on Sunday, I want to wish you all a happy birthday. The other obscure holidays, it's the Day of Liberation in Norway. It's National Coconut Cream Pie Day. It's Military Spouse Appreciation Day. It's World Donkey Day. But today we celebrate No Socks Day. A lot of people don't much care for socks anyway. We were told, at least I was told when you were younger, when you get a brand new pair of shoes, especially sneakers that you're going to wear in sporting events, that you wear them for the first week or so without socks because your feet will sweat, and the salt in your feet and the sweat glands as you sweat without socks on will actually make the shoe like a custom fit. It makes sense to me, but I'm not much of a socks guy anyway. I went about a year back in my mid-20s when I didn't even wear shoes. I like to have happy feet. So today, ditch the socks. No socks today. And it's something that I learned a long time ago from my parents. They told me, Dan, if you're going to get into broadcasting, remember this very important piece of advice: no socks before the show. So I always take my socks off just before the show. Today in history. This makes Mount St. Helens seem like a birthday cake candle compared to what happened on this date back in 1902. This was bad news. In Martinique, in the Caribbean, Mount Pelée erupts, and I mean it erupted, destroying the entire town of St. Pierre and the population. Everybody except like 7 people died. 30,000 people died, and they had very little warning that this was going to happen. It just went boom. Only imagine the boom much larger than that. Just a handful of residents survived. It was the deadliest volcanic eruption of the 20th century. It was pretty big. You're going to look at this photo and you're going to say, I had no idea they actually had bleachers in front of the Green Monster at Fenway Park, but they did. That's a picture of Fenway Park's left field corner before this date 100 years ago today. It was on this date 100 years ago today that a 3-alarm blaze broke out and burned down those very bleachers that you see there. And the Red Sox took the insurance money, the insurance proceeds, to make payroll and operations, and they did not rebuild the bleachers that burned down because they didn't have any money to do it. And so they just left it the way it is, and that's why the Green Monster is the Green Monster. Can you imagine that short porch with bleachers in front of it today? I can't. So the Fenway Park that we know of with the big Green Monster in left field became that way 100 years ago today. 46 years ago today, if you got smallpox and you were an infant, half of them died. If you're an adult and you got smallpox, about 30% of those would die of smallpox. But on this date in 1980, 46 years ago today, the World Health Organization confirms the eradication of smallpox. Let's not bring it back. Not nostalgic there. And finally, everybody knew this was coming after the United States and a bunch of Western countries boycotted the 1980 Olympics. In Moscow, the 1984 Olympics got their own little boycott. That was pretty much not really news. Everybody knew this was coming. They made it official on this date in 1984. The Soviet Union and 14 other Eastern Bloc countries under the sphere of the Soviets said, we ain't coming to L.A. But ironically enough, China did. China showed up. It was their first Olympics in a long time, but the rest of the communist Eastern Bloc said, we're going to pass. That was on this date in 1984. Big surprise there. Birthdays. Who was the last president of the United States to visit Wenatchee? He's on your screen. Harry Truman, campaigning for Adlai Stevenson in the 1952 presidential election, did a whistle-stop tour of Washington State, and he stopped and he spoke at the train depot in our little village of Wenatchee on October 2nd, 1952. He is, as of today, the last president to visit our little hamlet. Only president, only leader in world history to use a nuclear weapon in war. Desegregated the armed forces, supported Israel when it was launched, supported the United Nations. The only president of the 20th century who did not go to college. When he left office on January 20th, 1953, his approval rating was 22%. 22%. And most historians agree now, today, that he was one of the greatest presidents this country ever had. And his mother-in-law just didn't much care for him very much. Bess Truman's mom always thought that Harry Truman just wasn't good enough for her Bess. And Harry Truman's mother-in-law was born during the Civil War, and she was Confederate through and through. And whenever Harry Truman's mother-in-law would visit Harry and Bess at the White House, she flatly refused to sleep in the Lincoln bedroom. She said, our family never much cared for Abe, the great Harry Truman, born in the state in 1884. Don Rickles was born 100 years ago today. Mr. Warmth, Don Rickles, we miss him. If I need a good laugh after a tough day, I'll pop on YouTube and watch a little Don Rickles dissing on everybody. The great Don Rickles, born 100 years ago today. And the great Rick Nelson, terribly underappreciated. His father didn't help his childhood much. He basically didn't have a childhood. His dad controlled everything, and he bankrolled his recording career, but he did all right for himself. We miss Rick Nelson. Play the music. It speaks for itself. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Minotti, and then we took a tour of a construction site. Doesn't sound too interesting until you see where we were and who we were with. That's coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. And everybody is entitled to my opinion. Well, when I was with the Wenatchee Police, we had an ongoing phrase we used when somebody was a complainer. We called them a wimp, whiny bubba baby. Yeah, I've had that term flung at me a few times. But this phrase has come to mind recently every time the supposed most powerful man in the world takes umbrage at having fun poked at him. Fun poked for legitimate reasons, I might add, by TV comedians to the point where he bullies those in power to silence them. Yep, a wimp whiny bubba baby. He must have little hands. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Welcome back to the show. We are broadcasting from inside what will soon be the new headquarters of Serve Wenatchee Valley, which was the old headquarters of Serve Wenatchee Valley. I won't explain any more than that, except a lot of things changed in the world of Mike Malmin on October 7th of last year. Turns out it wasn't such a bad deal after all, making his very first appearance, by the way, on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Chief Hope Officer Mike Malmin. It's nice meeting you.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you too.
I'm very familiar with this layout. Again, we're in the old office of Serve Wenatchee Valley on Orondo Street. I know this building about as good as you do. I walked in here to tape this interview as this continues, and I barely recognize the place. It is, you got to be pretty excited about getting this project done. Then you made the announcement last week at the annual meeting that you're going to, the temporary place in East Wenatchee is a good stopgap, but it wasn't the permanent solution. You did a lot of real estate shopping, commercial real estate all over the Wenatchee Valley, and in the end you decided if you can make a go of coming back to where it all began, this is where you need to be, and here we are.
Yeah, some things changed for us. We got a call from the building's owners, the Clennons, who said they had some contiguous space open up here. When the flood happened, we were already pretty stressed at this location in terms of capacity, the amount of clients we could move through in an hour. And so with the flood came an opportunity to look for opportunities to find a larger footprint. This additional space opened up here. Things moved pretty quickly after that. We were able to sign a new lease and begin plans to enlarge the space by about 28%, dramatically enlarge our market, our food service side, where we are helping, last year, 4,000 family units getting food, through this ministry. And so the additional space was significant to us, exciting to us, and we were able to get moving quickly on the project.
The old line in real estate is location, 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 and we talked about this. This is really where you need to be. You need to be in the downtown core area for public transportation, all those things that your patrons need to have. to come to Serve Wenatchee Valley and coming home seemed the logical thing to do.
Our East Wenatchee location has been such a godsend, having a temporary place we could go up. But when you look at people that are living at or below the poverty line, most of them live far closer to this downtown location than to where we are in East Wenatchee. A lot of them have struggles with transportation. They don't own cars, or they have to use transit. They have to have a friend drive them. We do know that a lot of the transitional housing in the valley is located near this location. I had one, Scott Johnson from the Wenatchee Rescue Mission, who does a lot of transitional housing, told me, their clients need this, but they've had a hard time getting to East Wenatchee. So this is significant for our clients. It's also near the Transit Mall, which is huge for our clients. And so this space is really a blessing.
Outside of a couple of desks and cabinets that were nailed to the wall, you lost everything on October 2nd.
Yeah, and
really very little salvage.
Yeah, and we lost those too because they all turned out to be rotten. I think a lot of them are in a pile here right now. But yeah, we pretty much lost everything. We saved a couple computers. All our refrigeration was shot. The Valley was so generous in getting us back up and running. We got about I think about $89,000 from our insurance, which largely went to just getting us back up and running. None of that money is available for what's going on here.
So where is the money coming from, I guess, is the next logical.
Well,
this is a remodel. These things aren't cheap.
No, it is. But you know what? It's the cheapest thing for us.
Right.
And that's important to us. There's a lot of great organizations right now that are doing some really remarkable capital projects in this community. When we were evaluating our place in the community, our goal was to stay away from a large building project, try to keep our rents low, and try to find a space that best served our client, because what we're not spending in rent or remodeling, we can be spending on food and rental deposit assistance. So this space turns out to be spectacular for that. We are starting a campaign called Hope for Tomorrow. We're looking for people to chime in and give to this ministry if they feel led, if they feel this is a valuable thing in our community. You can go right to our webpage at servewenatchee.org, find the Hope for Tomorrow icon and click on it. It'll tell you all about this project. We still don't have our final estimates in. We anticipate those coming in the next couple of weeks. We're hoping our conditional use permit and building permits will come through in the next 5-6 days, and we can begin construction. We're getting some insurance money from the building owners that will get us started on the project. We did receive a significant anonymous donation that'll get us hopefully about halfway to 2/3 of the way through the project, and we anticipate we're going to need probably an additional $175,000 to $200,000 to complete it, which is very affordable when you compare it to starting at a new location or attempting to purchase and remodel a building. In this valley. This was the most cost-effective that allowed us to push money towards our services.
Outside of the additional square footage, which was badly needed, also gives you a chance to maybe reimagine what you guys need to do here physically at your space, your footprint. And one of the things you noticed immediately is that your office space, which you inherited from the previous client, was just too big. You can make much smaller offices, and that frees up space for your patrons for the things that you really need to do.
Yeah, we have an architectural firm that's doing pro bono work for us, Olson Kundig, and we've really prioritized two things. One is efficiency. We want this to be efficient, an efficient space. But the other is client dignity and safety. And so both of those elements are being worked into the new design. Also, there's going to be a lot of parts of the design that is going to communicate to people that Jesus loves them, that the churches of this valley love them, and that we love them. And we know that they're going through a hard time, and we want to be here to help them however we can. So this is going to be a much more efficient space. The market's going to be enlarged by about 2/3, which means we can get more clients through in an hour. Anyone that comes to Serve Wenatchee does an intake, and we determine the level of services we can provide for them. They're vetted, in other words. And for our clients, we know that we have to say no during certain times of the day. We just don't have a room. This will change all of that.
You have a warehouse, not in this campus, that where you store a lot of the canned goods, the stuff that has a long shelf life, and then you make the trips back and forth. This will probably allow you to store more of that food here on site and not have to make all those trips back and forth to South Wenatchee.
It will. And I'll say this as well, too, another kind of side announcement of this. We just announced we're going to be renting from the Lighthouse, their bottom floor there, just to store things, to get them over here. It's going to be a much more affordable option for us, which again allows us to churn more money into resources for the families we serve.
Did the old your temporary home in East Wenatchee, did that have enough square footage for the time being to store that stuff that you needed?
We made it work. We made it work. You know, some of the challenges there were, and it's been great. It's such a blessing to us, but we couldn't fit our commercial refrigeration units in there, so we're using a lot of used, donated refrigerators and freezers. And we have to do a lot of warehouse runs because the market was really probably about less than 2/3 the size of our old market. So this will be a huge feeling of expansion for us when we get into this space.
Not going to give you a timeline because, quite frankly, we don't know. It's a remodeling project, so there's always unanticipated circumstances, problems that you come across. So we're looking at maybe late summer, being loosey-goosey here.
Yeah, we're hoping that the construction process from demo to completion will take somewhere in the area of 3 months. But the projects like this, all sorts of surprises can come up. We are hoping that it'll be end of summer, early fall. It's going to be uniquely challenging for us because those are when all our major events hit. Closed for the classroom, Codes for Kids. So we may be running 2 events at the same time. We're trying to get ourselves back up and running at a permanent location.
Are you getting a lot of auction items donated to you for the big auction coming up at the end of May?
We need auction items right now. We've got a lot of people. We still have some tickets available, although we're coming closer to being full in terms of tables. We've got a lot of great auction items, but we could always use more. In particular, looking for events, activities, gift cards. If you have a vacation home you're willing to let a family use for the weekend, put that up on the market. We could definitely use donations for our auction right now, and we're trying to make that money from that auction go specifically to food and rental assistance, not this building. That'll be used to, the auction will be used really to push food and rent. So yeah, if you're listening to this, watching this, if you've got something you'd like to donate, artwork, we're looking for new items, reach out to us. You can go to our website to donate. You can call me directly at Serve Wenatchee, but we could definitely use more items there. And of course, you're welcome to get on, buy a single ticket, $40. You can buy a table of 8 for $300. We're running out of tables of 10. I think we maybe only have 1 left, but hop on and purchase tickets.
One question, I think I've asked you this before, and if I haven't, I was in the wrong, but this makes perfect sense to me. There are people out there who are retired, fully retired. They get a lot of volunteer time. They may not have any marketable skill that would help your organization out at all, except time.
Yeah.
There's people out there who said, Mike, I'll donate my time. I don't know anything about bookkeeping. I don't know anything about spreadsheets. I don't know anything about inventory, but I still want to help you out.
One of the things that people don't realize is Serve Wenatchee is almost entirely volunteer driven. We have 5 employees. I'm the only 40-hour-a-week employee. Most of what happens during
Mike
the day.
hasn't done a 40-hour week
right.
since he took the job.
Yeah.
A good week is a 62-hour week.
So October changed things, right? But our market every day, our front office is all run by volunteers. Those are the people that are meeting with and helping our clients. We have major events coming up. We always need volunteers for those events. We're going to need volunteers when we move back over here.
Exactly.
So time, people giving their time is as significant to us as people giving their money or giving cans of food. Because what happens at Serve Wenatchee happens because caring people say, I'll come and give a couple hours and help.
Mike Malmin, everybody from Serve Wenatchee Valley. Again, no real timeline. Serve Wenatchee Valley has not changed at all. The need will never get less. We talked about this off camera.
Yeah.
It's like I've been working ever since the Bob Shepard days trying to figure out how to drive you people out of business. Yeah. I've failed completely.
Yeah.
I still want to make that goal of having what you guys do not needed, but the need's always going.
Yeah, I would love to work myself out of a job. Yeah. But as long as there are struggling families that are hardworking folks trying to get by and just need a little help in this valley, I'm going to do this job. And if you want the real tangible way you can help right now is, tomorrow, Saturday, May 9th, is the Letter Carriers Food Drive, the Stamp Out Hunger. If you're watching this right now, go fill a bag with groceries, put it out by your mailbox in the morning, and all that food will be distributed to people that need food in this community. And it's a big one for us. It can provide 2 months of food for our food bank. That's huge.
They have great buying power too, which is why monetary donations are great. They've made arrangements with all kinds of local grocery stores to get a lot of food at a considerable discount.
It's just full circle, babe.
Yep, no government funding.
Yep.
Wenatchee folks helping Wenatchee folks.
Mike Malmin making his first appearance here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's nice meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Dan Kuntz.
Yeah, and don't forget the auction, May 29th.
May 29th, Saddle Rock Presbyterian Church.
Mike Malmin, everybody give him a big hand as we're talking to him in the middle of a big nowhere. And we'll be right back.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, shelter manager, and today I have with me Joe, and Joe has his ball. Joe is about 6 years old. He's a German Shepherd, really a beautiful example of one. He's about 100 pounds, but maybe because of his size, he's really, really polite. He doesn't jump on us. He knows where he is, where his weight is in time and space. So he's really wonderfully gentle with everyone. Yeah, he's very aware of himself. We got Joe about 2 weeks ago as part of a big dog transfer we did from a fellow rescue in Othello. He just wasn't getting any eyes on him there, despite being a wonderful dog, and so we wanted to help out. So somebody in Wenatchee needs this boy. Yeah, they do. Joe is just as gentle and sweet as they come. He loves his walks. He loves spending time with people. He's really smart. He knows a lot of things. Yeah. He's really great at sit. He'll do it before you even ask. He's really good at lay down. He'll stay when you tell him. He knows a lot of things, and he's really treat motivated, so I know that he could learn a lot more too. And he absolutely loves playing fetch. The ball is his favorite thing. Sometimes if there's no ball around, he has been known to grab a big rock and want you to throw that for him, which we don't, but he's very enthusiastic about the idea. Yeah, there you are. We don't know if he's good with cats because he came in as a stray with our partner, and we don't have them here for that. With other dogs, he's good at coexisting with them. He doesn't really have any close friends, but he's not bad with dogs either. He just kind of wants to chill and do his own thing. He prefers people. Yeah. But if you do have a dog, we always encourage that you bring them with you, and so the dogs can meet, make sure they're a good fit too. Joe is also on our doggy date program. So if you want to just take him out for the day to see if he's a good fit for your family, you are welcome to do that. He'll go for a hike, or maybe even to a coffee shop. Yeah. But it's so good for him to get out regardless, even if you're not looking to adopt. He would love to go on a date with you. Maybe to the park to throw his ball. So if you're interested in meeting our Joe, we're open 7 days a week now from 12:30 to 6, and we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
All right, getting ready to send you down the road for this weekend. But before we do that, I have to do my live read for Pool to Spa Services, which I still have not memorized yet, but I'm going to work on it over the weekend because I'm usually pretty good about this stuff. Upgrade relaxation with a bullfrog spa featuring the exclusive jetpack therapy system. It's personalized comfort in every seat, and who doesn't want to have that? Visit Pool to Spa Services in Wenatchee and design a spa customized just for you. I could probably use a nice little dip in the hot tub myself. As we head on into the weekend with some significant weather changes as this day progresses, we have a little bit of time, so let's fire up those PTZ cameras. They're coin operated. You put a quarter in and you get to look through the PTZ camera for 5 minutes. So let's take a look at what we have here. There is the Wenatchee Valley. There is the high clouds. Right now there is no wind. Very, very little wind. Both of those things are going to change rather dramatically as we work our way through this Friday. I'll give you those details in just a little bit, but a nice view from the valley there. Up to the up Hay Canyon, not all the way to the top, but pretty close to the top of Hay Canyon. That's a nice little ridge there. Not easy to get to, but there you go. Hello, Kashmir. It's good to see you folks on this Friday morning, and we're off to, back to Blag Mountain. This is a camera that we did yesterday for the first time in a very long time. I forgot that we even had it. Blag Mountain is high above Peshastin, and it's also a rather difficult drive to get there. Lots of switchbacks. It's like a one-lane dirt road, and if somebody's coming down and another truck is coming up, something's got to give. But that's a beautiful view there at Blag Mountain, and I think that's looking actually towards Leavenworth. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe a little bit to the north and the east, north and west, I should say. And Nanapoc Ridge. A little cloudy up there. Those clouds look to be a little lower, a little more ominous, but that's also slightly higher in elevation. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee, the Cato Glen Golf and Ski Resort. A little sliver of Fish Lake in the far right-hand corner of your screen. And it looks like the snow is all but gone now from Dirty Face. I see one little patch of snow on the north side of Dirty Face, and that is about it. All right, yeah, we are in for some big-time changes today. 2 short waves are going to pass through over the next 48 hours or so. The first disturbance moves through today with a cold front and dry air. I mean, we're talking bone dry relative humidity, and we're going to be in for some very strong winds here in the Wenatchee Valley. The winds will just gradually be increasing all day. By noon or so, you'll notice it'll be windy. It'll be downright very windy by late afternoon. The wind is expected to peak right around 6:30 to 7:30 tonight, where we could see gusts at 40 miles an hour, but we'll see sustained winds in the Wenatchee Valley at 20 miles an hour. The Wenatchee Valley and the Chelan Valley are going to get the strongest of the winds. It's going to be windy everywhere, but the folks who are really going to see those pressure gradients tighten up is us and the folks up at Lake Chelan, basically right along the eastern slope of the Cascades. So get ready for a very windy afternoon and a very windy night tonight. So any kind of fire that breaks out could cause some big-time trouble. So yeah, here you go. High clouds and calm in the morning, and then big-time wind scours out the clouds. We'll have sunshine and breezy conditions going to just plain windy conditions. And by the time we get through the rest of the day today, cooler, high of 75, which is still above normal. Our normal high is 69, so that doesn't change. Clear tonight, still windy as the cold front exits the area, 49 for the overnight low. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine most of the day on Saturday until the very end of the day. Then we'll see some clouds roll in with a high of about 80, not nearly as windy tomorrow. And then Saturday night, partly cloudy, 55 for the overnight low. And then Sunday, more wind, but not as much wind as today. Most of the wind will be on Sunday afternoon for Mother's Day. That's it for us. We will see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Until then, bye-bye.